What's up, Candy Lickers? Pleased to meet you. Nice to know me. What you doing? You're listening to another edition of Casio's Cut.
Hey kid, look at me. Let's burn down the school with gasoline. Say hell yeah. Hell yeah. Say white trash. White trash. Hey kid, it's party time. We're kicking out the jams like the MC5. That's the way I wanna be. I'll be a white trash superstar. That's the way I wanna be. I'll be a white trash superstar.
We've got the one and only, the advocate, the special counsel, the wise man, and I've still got some heat with him because he was president of the Lou Albano fan club and he never sent me my sticker like I requested. Mr. Paul Heyman, how are you, sir?
I was ripping people off even back in those days, I see.
Well, we're excited to have you on WWE.
Do you mind if I ask you? I mean, isn't it allegedly didn't send it to you?
It did not get sent to me. I didn't ever find it.
How do you know that? How do you know I didn't send it? It got lost in the mail. You're going to trust the United States Post Office?
I think they were better back then.
People say about the United States Post Office, and here you are saying, "Oh, Paul Heyman never sent it to me." How do you know? Why not allegedly? Why not? Am I not innocent until proven guilty, or at least not guilty until proven guilty?
It's a good call. It's a good call. I like it.
By the way, just so you know, I never sent it to you.
Allegedly.
No.
Oh,
Legitimately, I never sent it.
it's guaranteed. Okay.
I ripped you off.
That's actually no shocker when we think about it. Mr. Paul Heyman, I mean, that's what you're known. You're known to rip off us fans. But what's not ripping us off is right now, we have Royal Rumble coming up, and then we will hit Road to WrestleMania, where you will be coming to the Huntsville area. I want to ask you, with this new evolution of Brock coming back, he seems to have, for lack of a better word, found his way on the mic a little bit more than usual this time around. What have you seen with the evolution of Brock and not having to use his mouthpiece as much?
Thank God. my throat was getting sore just espousing the virtues of the beast, the conqueror, the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE heavyweight champion, Brock Lesnar. So thank God he's decided to pick up a microphone and do some talking. I'm tired of talking about him.
How do you, well, let's talk about this then. You've got the first ever weigh-in for a match coming in with Bobby Lashley and Brock. This is new heights for WWE. This is a pretty cool. This gives it that prize fight feel.
I concur with your assessment.
How exciting is this? This is big. I mean, Bobby Lashley. These are the two titans of WWE.
You know, it's exciting because it's a first time ever matchup, because you've never seen Brock Lesnar one-on-one in the ring with Bobby Lashley, and they have some very, very interesting similarities between the two. They were both amateur wrestlers. They both came to WWE with the highest amount of anticipation. They both transitioned from WWE to mixed martial arts, and then they both came back to WWE. The difference is, one is Bobby Lashley, who is, in any other generation, the single most dominant athlete in world wrestling entertainment. Problem for Bobby Lashley is he's up against Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar is not just of a different caliber athlete, not just a different caliber of a performer, but Brock Lesnar is not even of our species. And Bobby Lashley is going to learn that the hard way at the Royal Rumble.
Then after the Rumble, we'll have Road to WrestleMania coming through Huntsville. It's going to be March 20th here in Huntsville at the Von Braun Center. Can't wait to see. Talk about how, I mean, it's been for a while now, but now getting more and more shows under your belt. Wrestling thrives performing in front of a live crowd, so this has to be so much better getting out in front of the fans and actually getting the instant reaction.
Well, what's interesting about this show is that it's so close to WrestleMania. And there's a big mindset here in WWE right now to always shake things up. It's why we do a draft every year. And heading into WrestleMania, the question then becomes, who's going to upset the apple cart? Who's going to do something that completely disrupts the patterns that emerge on the way to WrestleMania? And doing it on live television is one thing. It's what people expect. Doing it at a live event is something completely different. It's how you really grab a headline today. And if you look at the news cycles today, if I were to advocate for someone to do something historic or counsel someone to completely change the plans going into WrestleMania, I wouldn't do it on television. I'd do it at a live event because it's where people least expect it. And doing something that's unexpected gets far more publicity than doing something that's expected. So if I'm a fan, and I am one, and I'm anywhere near Huntsville, Alabama, I'm getting tickets to this event because that's where something historic is going to happen on the road to WrestleMania that completely changes the dynamic of a show that goes down in history.
You've talked a little bit about the news cycle, so I want to touch on this, a little bit of change of gears. But how I saw you in your recent Out of Character interview, you talked about the business needed a disruption. ECW came in at the perfect time for that. How do you think social media would have helped or hurt ECW?
We would have exploited it like every other opportunity and every other platform that we had. I can't tell you that it would have hurt ECW, because if it would have hurt ECW, then I wouldn't be doing my job understanding the parameters and the opportunities that are presented by any platform or any concept of distribution that was happening at the time. Then again, would it have helped? One would only hope. It's people who sit there and they say, well, this ruined this industry. It means you couldn't keep up. BlackBerry couldn't keep up with smartphones. So BlackBerry went away. Vinyl records, though vinyl is making some sort of a comeback now, but it's really more of a novelty. Vinyl records couldn't keep up with CDs, and CDs couldn't keep up with streaming. Network television can't keep up with Netflix. So either you adapt to the distribution platforms that surround you, or you become obsolete. So would social media have helped ECW? It better have, because that would, the obligation and the onus would have been on us, or we would have gone out of business faster than we did anyway.
I definitely think it would. I mean, just from, you had that same, like you talked about, clamoring and everybody talking about what happened at the show. I think ECW led itself to be more viral. You had more viral moments before they were actually what we knew as viral moments now. You shook everything up and had those moments where everybody was talking about. That was when we were recording and switching the tapes back and forth. That was, you got to see this show. They were kind of ahead of the game that way.
Well, but that's the job.
Yeah.
I mean, I thank you for your kind words, and I also concur with your assessment, but that's the gig. And if we didn't do that, it's when you're the only game in town, it's easy for someone to come along and say, well, the alternative product, we're here to be different. Good for you. But we were the alternative product in the most hyper-competitive environment in the history of this industry. When WWE and WCW were both billion-dollar companies going head-to-head on cable network television, and at the height of both of their popularities, we were sitting there saying, we're different. We're better. We're more exciting. We're more visceral. Check us out too. So we had to be. We had to be everything that you're describing, or we would have fallen to the wayside just like that.
Well, it was a pleasure to see, and it's going to be awesome to see WWE finally coming back to Huntsville. We are super excited to get live shows again. March 20th, Von Braun Center, right here in Huntsville. Like you said, the road to WrestleMania. We have no idea. Everything will still be in play at that time. It could change just like that before you even know it.
And if it does, you get to watch history unfold in front of your very eyes in something that not only people will be talking about now, but in telling the story of this year's WrestleMania 25 years from now, you say, and everything was on path, and then they got to Huntsville, and this happened. And that's the goal in presenting a live event so close to WrestleMania.
Well, Mr. Heyman, I appreciate your time. I know you're very, very, very busy, so it's an honor.
I am very, very, very busy. So wrap it up.
It's an honor to talk to one of the GOATs. We'll just have to wait till you do a long podcast with Conrad or something. I don't have
may I ask you a question?
Yes.
If greatest of all time is singular,
yes,
how can you be one of the GOATs?
Can
it's
you
not
be
a compliment.
Can you be
it's
one
not
of the GOATs? Best of all time?
No. I don't want to be that. I want to be the GOAT. Hey, if you turn over to your wife or your girlfriend or well, it's 2022, or your boyfriend or your significant other, whichever your lifestyle may be, and they say, you are one of the greatest lovers I've ever had, are you complimented or do you kick them out of bed? You're not going to be flattered. You're going to look for a divorce or a split up, right?
Okay,
how can I be one of the GOATs? I'm the GOAT. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the best that's ever done this job. My God, man.
Heyman Hustle, thank you for putting me in my place as you always do.